So as our next guest, we have a regular leader in our community, Michele Town. Michele co-hosts and is a leader in our Friday mastermind group. So every Friday, 9 o'clock, Michele helps facilitate that. Michele is over $100 million a year producer, coming to you live out of Southern California. What is up, Michele Town?
Hi, everybody. I'm going to say happy Tuesday since I always usually start happy Friday. Happy Tuesday. Happy to be here and happy to share, some great things. Lori, oh my gosh, you should see my notebook. I wrote tons of notes already. I mean, I love this kind of stuff. I get so jazzed and so energized because, if you listen and you take 3 things from what you learned today, you're going to change your business model. It's fantastic.
Well, you kill it, Michele. Real quick, what was your volume last year, 2018?
We closed a little over 110 million and we helped 198 families. We just fell shy of 2. We were trying to push the last 2 in at the end of the year, but we realized we were doing that more for ego than what was best for the client. So we always put the client first. So we did 198 with 110 million and super happy, had a really successful year.
Yeah, well, congratulations on that. So let's talk about sales strategy and sales scripting for your borrower conversation, because I know you also get some direct-to-consumer leads, and you have realtor referrals. Realtor referrals are your main thing, but you do have direct-to-consumer leads. So you really have to think about your words, your scripting to optimize your conversion rate. So share some strategy and scripting around your borrower conversion.
Absolutely. I will tell you, I'm very much like Lori. We have on our Jingo or Salesforce, we have a little part when we're doing our intake calls. We have a check mark to make sure that we do our mortgage coach, our total cost analysis, or our rent to own analysis, depending on, when you do that initial interview with a client and you're asking them the questions. And, Lori's mortgage planning questionnaire is fantastic because the first thing when I have a consumer that calls me and they haven't been referred by anybody, the very first question out of their mouth is, what's your rate? And I deflect that because I just immediately answer them and say, I don't know, do you have a few minutes for me to answer a couple of questions, because I can't give you a rate based on just hearing your voice. I need a little bit of help from you. And then we'll go in and we'll start doing the mortgage questionnaire with them, which is, tell me, is this your first home? Do you have plans? How old are your children? Are you looking for different school districts? Going in a little bit deeper because we start showing them our value right off the bat. And one of the things, and I think I shared this last year too, is I got very personal with the clients right off the bat. I used to be very, hey, this is business, you're not allowed in my life. And I realized that this is an emotional thing and I need to have an emotional connection with them. So, I'll talk about, oh, I don't have children, or gosh, I've got, 5 dogs barking in the background, I'm so sorry. Or the chickens were, roosting in the background, so I make it fun and I get them off that, oh, she wants something from me. I get to the point where I'm going to give them something that's going to be of value. I use the total cost analysis. I want to share something just in case I forget, because I got so excited. So I always do a video or a voiceover, not always video, depending on what time of night it is, but I also always send the PDF version of the total cost analysis. And I was getting people only going to the PDF version, and I'm like getting grumpy about it. I'm like, God, I just did this video. My hair looked great. And I didn't have to retake it 20 times. So what I do now is I hyperlink the entire email. So when they open up my email and touch it, it immediately goes to my video. It's pretty fantastic. And the client will call me back and go, God, I watched your video, and I'm seeing more people watch the video now than just looking at that PDF, because I was going to pull the PDF off, but some people may not have video capabilities, and I thought I would lose some value there.
Hey, are you tired of getting rate shopped? Then do what 34% of America's best loan officers do. Stop quoting rates. Start delivering a total cost analysis. This game-changing strategy will radically reduce rate shopping, and when you do get shopped, you'll win more. To learn more about this total cost analysis by Mortgage Coach, just email sales@mortgagecoach.com to request your personalized demo and get some rate shopping script.
I do the same thing that Lori does, so I'm going to repeat a lot of it. I ask them, I tell them right off the bat, listen, we're not your typical mortgage lender. We are going to be working with you. Our goal is to make you our client for life, and we're going to hopefully work with your families. But in order for me to do that, I need to ask you a couple of questions, and it's going to be a little bit personal. I need to know what your financial goals are. How long do you think you're going to be in this house? I talk about disposable income a lot because a lot of people talk about, I want that 3.75 rate. I'll say, okay, great, I'm going to give you that option. So let's take that off the table. I get it off the table right away. But let's talk about what that 3.75 rate is. If I can take some more money and shift it to pay down a debt, a car payment of $800 per month, and now your overall total monthly obligations are X, would that put you in a better position? And it also puts me in a bit better position later to possibly refinance you if things change. So I get them off that rate and I get them back on looking at disposable income, because that really is what's important. We don't care what your interest rate is, because if I give you an interest rate of 5% or 3.5% and your overall payments are still $2,500 a month, you're happy, right? And that's what my goal is. So I really steer my total cost analysis at that, talking about looking at your disposable income, because by that time I've already asked them the questions of what their car payments are. Usually I have their credit reports and their income, and I'll say, hey, we can put you in a financial position better to start putting away, even though your rate's gonna be a little higher, we're gonna actually show you that you're gonna be able to save $250 a month and put it in the bank.
So I wanna make sure everybody connects the dot on a few things. I have one more script I wanna get from you. So notice how she's getting personal at the front end, asking questions she doesn't need to ask, but she is getting personal with folks. You know, loved your scripting on how you kind of deflected off of rate onto that. And then the whole conversation, you say, hey, I'm not your typical lender. I want to be your client for life. And then it wasn't the words that you said, it was the way that you delivered service. You know, you asked great questions. You delivered this great mortgage experience. Remember, everybody will give you a package. You'll be able to see her email, see exactly what she's doing and how she's doing, so that you're driving this interactive digital experience where great conversation, video, numbers. So one last question, and then we've got to bring in our next guest. How do you take this great conversation, and what is a quick script on how you position this with a real estate agent so that they see you as a conversion partner?
Fantastic. When I'm with my realtors, and actually even when it's a client coming to me with their own realtor, I actually will pick up the phone and call them. And when that mortgage coach, the total cost analysis goes out, I actually always put them on the email, and they get notified. You know, where you can click and it says notify partner when the client opens it. I let them know that as well. But I go through and I'll say, hey, if you don't mind, if you'll take, because my mortgage coach videos are no longer than 2 minutes ever. 2 minutes or more or less. And I'll say, hey, can you take 2 minutes and look at this? Make sure I've met the client's goals and that we're on the same page, because I can do a correction and I get them engaged. And when I'm talking on my video, the first thing I do is say, thank you so much. And I want to thank you for working with Cindy Edmondson. And I want you to let her know that I've shared this video with her too, so that we're all working as a team.